And we're live. Alice.
We're live.
How you guys doing? Welcome to Monday Cinema Club.
Hi everybody, my name is Alice.
I'm Dante.
For my Chinese fan, hi 大家好，我叫 Alice. For my Uyghurs fans, hi 我是 Slad. 기농군 분들 개개는 와가 거시 Alice. For Americans, what's up y'all? My name is Alice.
For all the American fans or English speaking fans out there, what's up? This is Dante and Alice. This is Monday Cinema Club. Thank you guys for all of us, for all you guys out there for joining us. For people that know and people that don't know, this is our Monday Cinema Club. It's like a book club. We watch a different movie every week and we discuss it with all you guys out there, and then you guys can come and join in with us that have watched the film this week. This week is The Breakfast Club. And as always, people can kind of DM early and try to get on the VIP list, which means we start and end with a guest that's pre-booked, and the rest of the people talking will be just people that are watching. And so shout out to everybody, Zoe Gray 23, Ava Noodle, what's going on?
Hi.
MXR code.
Isabella. What is
DJ
that?
Dennis 519. How y'all doing? You can read that. You can read that Mandarin. Look at you. I can't read the Mandarin. We're gonna have to do a Chinese film sooner or later.
Absolutely, we should.
I know this week, just for people that we're doing a Latinx theme for next week. So it's two Diego Luna movies, Y Tu Mama Tambien and Motorcycle Diaries. You can vote on
my Instagram
and vote on her post right now. We'll announce that by the end of the show. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
Mad love to all my
Hi Juju.
All my you have fans from different countries. I have fans from different fandoms. So shout out to all my Avatar fans out there. Honor from the Fire Nation.
Hi
all my Lost Boys and Lost Girls out there. Bangarang. And thank y'all for
find your honor.
Thank you guys for joining us. But as you guys know, what's up? I love Katara. I talked to her today, this last week at a virtual con, Color World. So that was really fun.
One of our fans said you guys should do the Kung Fu Hustle, which is the director's
I think Kung Fu Hustle is definitely one that we should put there. But I don't know, a couple of them, maybe two of his films.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Kung Fu Hustle, I've seen it one time. It's a great film. So we are discussing The Breakfast Club this week.
Breakfast Club. So, what do you think?
What do you think? I loved it. I mean, you want to start? I'm gonna let you start. I usually start, but I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna hear what you gotta say.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about the movie a different perspective because I'm not from America. I born in China, raised in China. Like I have a different.
Last week, for people that don't know.
But however, yes.
Last week was Back to School Week.
Back to School Week.
And our two films you guys voted on was between The Breakfast Club and Grease.
Grease,
like two high school movies. And so I know a lot of you guys are going back to high school or college.
Go back to school.
So it's kind of cool for us to go back to school this week.
Is it really?
Yeah, I had a good time. I had
a good time too.
I got school time snacks. I got some Nutter Butters.
I had Teddy's. Chocolate cookies.
So it's back to school week. Let's talk about going back to school with The Breakfast Club. Like before you give your point of view, let's give a quick rundown of the movie.
Thank you, Alice. Absolutely love your food. Thank you. I try my best.
She looks cute. She's always trying to look cute up on here. I'm just chilling.
I always look down. What should I wear?
But just to run down the movie, it's a movie directed by legendary director John Hughes, who did a lot of great teenage films. Pretty in Pink,
and Furious Boys, Vacation. And a home. Oh, wait a second. He did a Home Alone?
No, The Breakfast Club.
Plants.
He's a part of the whole, the whole '80s Rat Pack. He kind of created that whole crew, which is a lot of the Rat Pack. '80s Rat Pack is in this film. Of course, legendary '80s actors like Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy, Anthony Michael Hall, Judd Nelson, Emilio Estevez, Paul Gleason played the teacher, who was amazing in the movie. So the film roughly is about these 5 different students, like the brain, the criminal, the nutcase, the popular prom queen, and the jock, all having to go to detention on a Saturday. And all the mishaps that happened during this one Saturday detention, why they got there, and how they kind of bond and kind of like get to know each other outside of their own friend groups.
Yeah.
So that being said,
I'm
gonna step out of the way. Go ahead. I'm not gonna interrupt you not one more time. You say what you want to say about the movie.
Don't put me on the spot.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Drink your water. Anyways, So I watched the movie. First of all, I enjoyed it, and then end of the movie, I got a kind of like got little question myself, like who are the character I related, who I am.
I think everyone watching the movie got to be that doing
and
that.
then in the film, the movie is low budget, $1 million,
which is a lot of money for that time.
At the time, a lot of money.
I've done movies for less than $1 million today. But keep going. Sorry.
They made a $52 million worldwide.
The box office
at the time.
That's great.
It's great. It's beyond great.
No, it's amazing.
And if you look at the bigger picture of the film, there's 5 students comes from the 5 different backgrounds. We did not see any of their families, any of their family members. What kind of background they coming from? What do they live like? What is their environment? We did not see it. We feel it, we hear it through the dialogue.
Right.
It's super clever decision as a director, and it's really good producing strategies, like producing mind, you know. It's like you don't have to show every single of them their what they've been through, what kind of family they're coming from.
It showed little clips of it.
There's just clips of how the parents dropped them off in the beginning of the film.
You're right.
And then more you know through in the middle of the conversation and at the end of the act 2 part, they sit around. It's like who I am, like why I am ended up in this here detention, and then why do you ended up? What kind of family are you coming from? Like what did you do? And you think you're the princess, but look what I came from. Like you think you got this diamond rings on your Christmas gift. What did I get from my Christmas? So based on this entire conversation,
cigarettes. The answer is the carton of cigarettes.
Exactly. You learn a lot of their family situation. You know.
Right.
And then you be like, oh my god! And while they're explaining the entire situation, you as the audience, you automatically imagine picturing those situation, the scenario they're facing to, the obstacle they're facing to, the parents' relationship they're facing to. You can imagine. We don't see any of those.
Right.
Director didn't set up a whole location, shoot 5 different locations. This is so this clever way to produce the film.
Right.
I think it's amazingly done, and you don't need to go 5 different locations to show what kind of family they are, like who is their family, who is their like background. You don't have to.
Right.
And it's through their conversation, through the actors' dialogue, they delivered by their acting performance, amazingly done, and like it's great. It's literally like waking up call for me, as coming from Asian family, conservative Muslim background, as a first Uyghur coming up actress, and then facing to these obstacles and coming to this new town when I was in 17. Moving to the different cities, and going to the big cities as Shanghai, from Xinjiang to Shanghai, which is 7 hours fly, a different language, different environment, a different culture.
Yeah, you wrote a lot of stereotype lines.
It's stereotype, but at the same time, it's for me it's family pressure, religion pressure.
All the kids were going through
all
the movie.
The things like you feel.
What was your favorite character in the movie?
Everybody.
I know, but who are you drawn to closest?
feel more closest to Brian Johnson.
Is it the brain?
Brain.
Anthony McCall.
You're
the brain?
No, I'm not thinking I'm the brain.
I'm just teasing.
But I think that's how I see. Like I see my family. Like you're not we can't take it. You're not gonna be F. You always gonna be A.
Look at Melissa saying you're so passionate about the Breakfast Club, and she loves you. She is passionate. She's going in.
That's what an actress for. I'm passionate.
Yes.
And then sometimes, like after I learned more about the rest of the character, I related more. Like, oh my god, sometimes I'm this character. But the most interesting part is who the other people see you.
Yeah, that's the end of the day. It's like I think we all go into. I think even
What other
back,
people see me as?
You
Like,
go,
what
what
character?
character do you ask? Who do you relate to, or who do you think you are?
Yeah.
And I think by the end of it, they find out they're actually all of everything. And the question really is, how do others? What character do others see you as
an individual?
Because in the end of the day, you're saying, you're feeling Brian. You're feeling like the Brian is kind of.
Sometimes I feel like.
But the reality is, most people would look at you and not put you in that.
Sometimes
category.
when I moved from Xinjiang to Shanghai for my career, I feel like I'm an Allison.
Allison, yeah.
Allison. I feel like I'm an Allison. Nobody understands.
Yeah, you're kind of like
and now I moved to
outcast.
Yes.
But also, you're very
100%.
pretty. You're very popular. You're a celebrity
Well, you
in
think
China. That's very the Molly Ringwald
You're
character.
so nice of you.
They think you're pretty too. They say out there.
Look at you, don't they? Being sugar mouth.
I'm
This
just
guy
saying.
is a sugar mouth.
No, so, okay. Can I go into what I think now?
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh my
Just
God.
kidding. Yeah, I feel like even after I moved to US to California,
I like it. And I
first
see,
3 years,
I
still
love the
feel
movie.
like Allison
There's some
too.
people out there that don't like the movie as much, and I can't wait to get to you guys. I see the B-Way sisters out there, one of them, talking about things, and I want to hear your guys' point of view, because I love
Absolutely.
this thing is all about just watching
Sharing the
movies and
experience.
sharing experience and discussing, healthy discussion, no hate, no whatever. Just just us talking about movies and movies that have mattered in people's lives and matters in this industry that we're in.
Exactly.
So the Breakfast Club. I'm gonna get metaphysical a little bit on
Yes,
this.
please, Mr. Bosco.
So
Can't wait.
I mean, I loved the movie growing up, watching it as a kid for years, and then having seen it for over a decade more.
Can I eat cookie while you
Go right ahead, please enjoy. Just snack away, like you're at a movie. Just enjoy. And then going back to see it now was so fun and refreshing, kind of nostalgic for me. I knew so many of the lines and characters. I mean, the images and the lines were like right on the tip of my tongue throughout the whole film. Ironically, it's this weird thing when I'm watching it. I see these kids in detention, and the whole metaphysical, the whole kind of like, I don't know, existential part of me right now, us living in this pandemic. I felt like that's us. Like, we're all in detention right now. We're in detention. And to a certain degree, we're around people that, have certain ideas about us, whether it be family, friends, very small group of people for longer periods of time, and you're forced to deal with them when life is just regular.
Yeah.
And we're going through these things. You know what I'm saying? We're going through these things. And we're all questioning ourselves and our the choices we made in the past, our failures, our accomplishments, trying to figure out our next moves as this whole pandemic hopefully lets up sometime soon. It's like I felt like
not even like
the world's
regardless, no matter the pandemic. As an artist, we're
always like that, but we're like
hustling.
We're always hustling.
Yeah.
But we're like in an intense mode of that because we're like we're in detention right now as like a world, a country. Certain cities are locked down more than others, but like we're like in the Breakfast Club right now, going bored, falling asleep, sleeping too much, being super hyperactive. Maybe you want to do some marijuana. You're watching the movie. Like we've gone through all these stages in quarantine that these kids are going through in their Saturday detention, which I thought was very funny. And then again, like ultimately, you wondering where you fit in that kind of cast, and you may or may not fit in, or more importantly, how
everybody
the world
fits the category
somewhere. But how other people put you in these categories. When at the end essay from Brian, which is such a beautiful little essay, is like, we are all the brain. We are all the popular one. We're all the jock sport guy. We're all the criminals. We're all the outcasts. Like that.
Exactly.
We have all that in us, and of course, that's the lesson I hope we all kind of get to in life within ourselves and our friend groups and our families. We kind of can accept, the full circle of who we are, even though to people outside of our inner circle, we may be just one thing: the funny guy, the pretty girl, the smart guy, smart girl, the you know what I'm saying, or out there, you guys, it might be the outcast, the cosplay kid, the Comic-Con geek, the sport guy, whatever these labels people want to put on people to just kind of go there. But at the end of the day, we're like all of it, and so I really appreciated that part of the film. And then I also just as an actor, like all these emotions, I've done a lot of these scenes growing up in acting classes, which I'm sure a lot of actors out there watching have done these scenes or scenes like this. And so the emotionality of being young, and I mean these guys were teenagers or not too far above teens when they were doing the movie, so it reminded me of just being in acting class, doing these things, having these heart-to-heart conversations with people
like
that I may not, you know.
Therapy for actors.
Oh, for people that had never been in acting class, my phone calls going in, and so that really reminded me a lot about that, and again, acting class was like that for me too. It was like a lot of people in drama school, in conservatory that may not be people I hung out in my regular circles, because I just grew up like as a b-boy and a hip-hop dude, and in my neighborhood, so like you weren't from my neighborhood, I wasn't really hanging out with certain kinds of folks, so being in acting scenes with them and kind of, you know, crying and laughing and learning things about them and learning things about myself through the work was very reminiscent as I saw them just like sitting down talking and smoking and like
and it's vulnerable.
It's vulnerable, and then to see these young actors, many of them have gone on. I think all of the original cast, they all went on to like really great careers. To see them as kids and having these moments, and you know, as they're doing some of these things, it's so. I think one of the things is just that some of the moments they're having are so like kids going through these moments or having these conversations, where it's not as thought out. The reactions aren't as polished performances. It's just kind of like these beautiful kind of like. Performances by quote unquote, you know, teens or kids. So it was really beautiful, and that's what I have to say. I don't know. I give it many stars, I guess. I still like it. So let's go out there. Let's see who's around to come in and talk.
Where's our VIP?
We have a few VIPs. Let me look at the VIP guest list. Let's start that.
Do you want to be announced?
I don't know. Let me see. There's one guest that said she was going to come in, but then she might have not come.
Okay, I'll announce it. But we had two VIP guests. One of them is our dear friend and
my aunt Bernadette Shirley. She's supposed to come and talk today, but she did not make it today. I mean, Auntie Bernie. She's working, so we don't know.
Okay, hopefully she can.
She might come later, but I see people coming. I see the B-Way sisters. Maybe they're together. I'm gonna bring one of them in to start out with. But we have the VIP guest at the end.
Another VIP guest, which is my dear friend and my classmate from London. Her name is Macy Grace and her boyfriend.
Okay, well
both of them are
be joining us lately. They're both filmmakers.
And then they're gonna be in last.
But I see the B-Way sisters up in here. I'm going to grab B-Way Madeline and see. I saw her not enjoying the film, so I want to hear. I think that's what you said.
I love to hear.
I'd like to hear. I mean, I love these girls. I love the sisters. I love their point of view. Let's hear what's going on with Madeline.
Please.
Madeline, what's up? How are you doing? How are you and the sister?
Hi.
I was hoping you guys were together.
Yeah, I finally didn't have work today, so I can finally come on.
Very cool. Well, thank you for joining us today. And you guys are going to call in from where?
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago. That's where the place was shot.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I did something in Illinois and a film festival, and we went to the actual place where it was shot, which is now a police station. The old high school got turned into a police station, and I went there and we walked around.
Really?
Yeah, we've never been there.
I've never been there, but.
Hey, the whole crew's here.
The crew's here.
You got 3 for 1 special. Oh my goodness.
There it is.
So let's talk.
Let's
talk, B-Way sisters. Let's talk about Breakfast Club.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, this is not one of my favorite 80s movies. I think it kind of falls in near the bottom of it. There are some aspects of it that I can appreciate. Like, I appreciate, like, the iconicness of it and, like, kind of the aesthetic of it. But, like, I personally didn't find most of the characters likable. The only character that I actually liked was Brian, and he's probably the one that I can see myself most in. But I just found a lot of them to be kind of, like, rude to each other. And I appreciate group dynamics, but I just found out, like, when they were fighting, they would constantly, like, fight and bigger. Like, it just made me, like, sad. And, like, I understand, like, it had good dialogue and, like, good complex like characters, but I just didn't feel myself kind of, you know, relating to a lot of them.
Yeah. I can dig that. I understand that.
It's understandable.
And but something I think going into it, because you hear a lot about the movie, so I think if you look at it from a different perspective, because going into it I thought they were going to be closer, but I can appreciate if you go look at it just like kids thrown together in a weird situation and they're just trying to relate to each other. It doesn't always
kind of fit together.
Yeah.
And I think the first time I watched it, I was a freshman, and now I'm a senior in high school. So seeing those people and being more versed in high school kind of helps looking at the movie a different way.
Right. Plus, it takes place in a day. I mean, through a high school career in 4 years, you do get this cross. By the end of it, last day of your senior year, you do have friends that are from different friend groups, but that didn't happen in 1 8-hour period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and I love.
but it's interesting because you are in high school. That's fascinating. But what's great is those characters all still exist in high school. I'm sure those characters are in your high school right now.
Yeah. But all that being said, I did like the dance scene. The dance scene was fun
and them running through the hallways is so iconic.
It's iconic. And that part you're like, yes. You're like, yeah.
So iconic. I mean, it's definitely fairy tale-ish because it's like these 5 different complete characters and like extreme things of them, and they all get to some kind of, well, most of them except for Allison get to like a monologue of why they're there, which is very teenage angsty.
That scene is pretty fascinating.
But it was, I mean, it definitely hits the mark in certain moments, and I'm sure different people all relate to different characters.
And that's something that's special about
her. I do agree with one of the point you guys just mentioned. It like, yes, they've been through a lot, and then their families, like the background's different, and then when they came, like all staying in the one library, why are they like so mean to each other?
The kids are mean. Kids are mean to each other.
Like,
and they're all like caricatures of like different types of people, so it kind of makes sense that they have to butt heads. So, but like all the acting is fantastic, and like obviously these people are big names, and like I love Emilio Estevez from like The Outsiders, like we love that movie. And
I love that too.
So like obviously those people are iconic, and like seeing them all together as you know in a lot of other 80s movies is definitely like something to watch.
And that's probably one of the reasons why it was so popular in its time, and it's still held up today, just because all those big names in the 80s, and people were probably just so excited to be watching that. Maybe they didn't see plot holes, or maybe they didn't really pay attention to certain characters.
The plot's not super thick. But also, I mean, think about it. To a degree, it's a teeny bopper film. I mean, you're talking about 5 teenagers, good-looking teenagers, pretty girls, pretty guys, having these. I mean, it'd be the equivalent of putting like I don't know what the kid actors are today, but like say like whatever, like Justin Bieber playing Bender.
Very interesting. Justin Bieber, the actors that we have today, like the Stranger Things kids or something. I think it'd be fascinating.
Right, like think about it. Like it was like literally a teeny bopper film that became an iconic film. Like it would be like, oh my god, it's whatever. Like I don't want to. I'm not trying to diss any teeny bopper films. They're all great. I'm sure I've done some. My friends have done things, but it's like quote unquote like a Gossip Girl thing becoming an iconic, like up there in these iconic American films that are like, whoa, that was like a teeny bopper film, but all of a sudden, and it was held down by actual teenagers, and it became like this really iconic movie that has stand the test of time now for like, I don't know, it's like 40 years almost.
Yes,
which is crazy.
1985. Well, I think this iconic film become iconic film because there's an iconic character. And everybody can relate this character, and then we do see this character in real life, like mean high school people, like students. They're mean to each other, mean to family, mean to each other.
And by the way, when we grow up and we go into the work world, these characters still exist, and they're still mean.
That's a different high school world, everywhere.
And they're still mean. It's like that same dynamic just happens at the workplace, in the kitchen, craft service table.
It happens.
For sure.
It happens. And so, what are some of your favorite moments or favorite scenes?
I mean,
I like Brian getting his A at the end. That was nice. I like Brian, so I like when Brian wins. So it's good to see. But and then the dance.
Anthony Michael Hall is amazing in this movie, and I mean, especially at this time in his career when he did this, he did Weird Science. He did a few other films like at that like age, and he's so young. And what's crazy is we were talking. When we watch the movie, it's like he's the quote-unquote dork, the dweeb. People keep saying that. But if you look at today's time, like he's the hipster, cool kid, lives in Silver Lake. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the world has changed where it's like that's not necessarily the dweeb anymore. Like he's just the smart, cool kid. Like exactly what he's wearing, Mitch Mac shocks, the same shoes, is like the hippest kid in school right now, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
And that's like something that's fascinating, is like because you can see the stereotypes here and how they're influencing that time period and how they kind of change, like you're saying, to this time period and how like stereotypes are always changing.
I'd be fascinated to see like an updated version.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Breakfast Club.
That would be fascinating.
Updated
modern version.
Yeah.
Because now you're adding different racial, conflicts in there. Different sexualities in there.
Are we talking about my movie?
She wrote a movie that has a very similar tone to
similar tone, high school.
But yeah, different sexualities, different genders.
Different gender.
It would be a whole. I mean, it gets more complex. All of a sudden, it becomes an anime. It becomes like a complex anime.
Interesting.
Interesting. Anything else you guys want to add before you guys go? I love seeing you guys all together. This is so.
Yeah. Great to meet you. Thank you for letting us on.
Yeah, I appreciate the love that people have for the film, though. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you can't like this movie. Like, obviously, like, if you like it, like, that's great. And like, I'm so happy that people can identify with these characters and see themselves in these characters, because that's like really special to do that. So
Yeah.
For sure.
But thank you guys for coming on. I always love having you guys join the conversation. All right, bye. B-Way Sisters in the house.
B-Way Sisters in the house.
I don't know how we can. Are we supposed to? I don't think I should.
Do you know
I think you guys have to. On
right
top.
Okay. Goodbye.
Oh, I just
Oh,
exited.
you're having a scene.
I can't see it. I took out the tag of the thing. So let's keep going.
Did you tell your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. I don't know. What'd you say your favorite scene was?
My favorite scene is Claire putting eyeliner to Allison, and then they're conversing. Why are you so nice to me?
You're such a girl with the makeup. Girls with makeup.
But the conversation, dialogue is
I'm
really
just
deep.
joking.
It's not all about the makeup.
I'm just joking.
Girls, this is not only about makeup.
But it was nice.
And then she said,
Nowadays you can do a makeup tutorial online. They could have done like a whole YouTube tutorial with Claire and Allison, and like you got to do this and that. What's it called?
why are you so nice
What's
to
it
me?
called?
Eyeliner.
No, the scope skits.
Contouring.
She'd be contoured. These days she'd be contoured out by the end of it. All of a sudden she walk out looking contoured out, like super sharp edges.
What do you know about the contour?
I've seen some YouTube videos.
Really? What are you doing in the contour YouTube video?
Everyone's contouring these days. Everyone's contouring.
Anyways, that's my favorite scene. And she said, you let me be nice to you.
Yes.
So that dialogue, it's really deep meaning. So let people be nice to you, Mr. Bosco.
I will. I'll take that. Thank you for being nice to me, you guys. My favorite scene, my favorite scene is them just sitting around after they've all smoked weed. They're like kind of relaxing. They like are trying to bond and they're having these real cool moments, and they're also still bickering. Someone say something real catty and they'll get, cut at each other, but then they'll also get to a place in revealing. I mean, Brian's scene talking about the elephant's tusk, and it won't go on, but it's so emotional and beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. I mean, I love the Bender scene when he's, when he's imitating his dad. No, what about you, Dad? I mean, iconic, and I love seeing that again. So, what he calls his Essence of Time said her favorite scene, his or her favorite scene was improvised. I didn't know that. Okay,
right,
what's up,
three more
BB? How you
people.
doing? Essence of Time, what's up? Coop Print, what's going down?
Hi, Sophia. I saw you.
Pinkley 158, what's going down? Let's bring in some more people. Let's bring some more people and pick somebody.
Okay. What is the hashtag? We didn't.
Oh
say
no!
that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hashtag right now, if you're here, hashtag detention. Hashtag detention.
Detention or the club?
Detention.
Sure.
We're all in detention, you guys. We're all in detention. Hashtag detention if you want to jump in. And make sure you've also requested so I can see whatever comes up, I'll pick you
if you
watching
saw the
you're
movie,
here.
hashtag.
Sometimes when you guys are requested, then we
detention.
go in and then you guys don't pick up or you've gone. But hashtag detention right now and we'll bring you in. Shout out to Zelda. What's up, Zelda? We're talking about the Breakfast Club right now. This is Monday Cinema Club. Here we go. Oh, Ayami's here.
Okay.
All right. Oh. It's my homegirl, Adriana. What's going on?
What's going on? Oh, there
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. It's been a while.
It has been. I've been a little busy, even though we're quarantined. Well, I'm not anymore. I've been working.
Where are you calling in from again?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Jersey.
So what's going on? Did you watch the movie this week? Are you your memories? of the
Yes,
film?
so this is one of my favorite films. I love it. One of the things I think about is that, so we all know that they all have a particular place in school.
Yes.
And, you know, they're not going to talk to each other, they're not going to associate with each other until they're in detention. It's kind of like when you work with someone, if you have to wear a uniform, you just end up associating with the person, not knowing anything about them,
Right.
judging them. So it's
That makes
just,
sense.
that plays a role in my mind when I think about this film, because there's a lot of people, it's like, I was technically, like, I was dressed as the outcast, but high school was normal, it was chill, I associated with anybody.
Right. But you could have been out. You could have been put in the outcast category.
Yes, I could have been, yeah, if that was
Were
the
you a
category, I
goth
would
girl
be
or
the
what? Were you like black on black, black eyeliner, white powder?
Definitely not the white powder, not too much eyeliner, definitely not that. But I did wear like black t-shirts and stuff, and I was into anime and everything like that, so I was like the outcast, but then I was like trying to break away from wearing black and just, I've definitely built up a wardrobe of just variety of stuff, so it's like, all right, I don't have a
We're all wearing gray
specific.
today. We're all wearing gray today.
I
Yep.
don't know why you ring.
Oh wow,
Look at that. We're all matching.
wearing
We're all
gray,
wearing
yeah.
gray. It's a gray day. It's a gray day.
matching, crazy. But yeah, that's something that I like because no judgment at work. Or where I work now, you wear whatever you want anyway, because I am now in the cosmetology world. So it's fun. And it's interesting to see how today's times have changed with like makeup and hair color, where it's like, okay, I was weird for having different color hair, but now it's totally normal. I was like, when did this happen?
Super normal. I had an earring when I was in high school. I had to write an essay to my dad to get an earring, like get my ear pierced.
Oh
Which I
wow.
didn't want to do, but I ended up doing. I just like didn't ask for permission, but I did write the essay. I was like Brian, I wrote the essay, and I wanted to get my ear pierced.
What about the giant tattoo on your back?
But now, what I'm saying, and nowadays, to be tough, I mean, earring is nothing. Like people get tattoos on their faces, necks. Like you gotta be. I mean, I don't know what's next. Let alone all the hair color, which is all normal. I mean, a tattoo on your face, or that hand it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like all the stereotypes have gone like through the roof. I see people tattooed all black up to here or on their face. Just crazy.
Everywhere, anywhere. And I'm just like, I have no ink on me. I'm a baby or a wuss when it comes to the ink. I'm just clean. But I like them. I appreciate them. But I'm like, nah. But I did get my lip pierced without telling my dad. I did do that.
Did you get in trouble?
No,
Wait,
I
what
did
did you
not.
get?
She got her lip pierced.
I
Oh.
got my lip pierced.
Snake
It
bites
was a long.
on the side or on the middle? Which would you get?
On the side, it was this side here. I did it on my birthday when I turned 18. So my mom wasn't
You can do whatever you want to do with your body.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. Pierce it up.
I was like having my rebel moment. I was like, Mom, I'm 18. I work and I go to school. I'm gonna do it, and that was my reason.
Now, what was one of your favorite moments in the movie or scenes or whatever?
I'd say when they all go at each other, because everyone has their own personal problem, and to you it might not be that big of a deal, but to them it is, because depending on how they were brought up, what their values are, to them that's a big deal. So if you're someone who was told that your appearance is everything to you and you don't have it put together, that's a crisis to you. If you're someone who's really competitive and you're not getting the position that you want in a job or something, or as quickly as you thought it was, that's going to be a big deal to you.
Right. It is true. And I mean, they all have their thing, and everything is valid, obviously, for whatever it was. But then when something crazy happened, like Brian was like, oh yeah, I'm in here because they found a gun in my locker and contemplating suicide. That really shook everybody. Everybody was like,
Yeah, they're like,
we
oh.
we were going through, like, we weren't trying to kill ourselves. Like we
Like,
bullied
you
some
know,
people, or we were assholes to some
something.
people, or like
Yeah, but
we
we
made some
didn't
mistakes, but we didn't try to kill it. Like, don't kill yourself. Still, and look, and teens are, I mean, everyone's going through stuff, but especially teens. And still, suicide's a big thing.
Big thing.
On my other stream, we're raising money for the Trevor Project that's dealing with suicide, especially within the LGBTQ community. So you can watch that on Fridays. We're raising money for the Trevor Project right now.
Oh, I definitely want to see that.
Yeah. So one of your favorite films of all time, still as you watch it again, it holds up.
Yes. I still love this film to this day. Like, it's something I would continue to watch.
That's
I
awesome.
don't.
Interesting.
I would do, like you said before, I would like to see what a remake of that would look like now,
I
because
would
I feel
like
like
to
it
see
would
that
be.
too.
I
There's
feel
so
like
many
it'd be
places you can
really
go with
The
it.
different diversity.
You're not gonna make everybody happy, but it would be interesting. You know, it'd be very interesting. Well,
Oh yeah,
thank
for
you
sure.
so much for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Nice
Thank
to
you for
meet
having me.
Shout out to Jersey. Later. All right, the next person coming in, throwing hashtag right now.
Hashtag.
I know
Detention.
Cookprint, I'm probably with you. No remake. I mean, usually remakes are like, not good. I'm just in my mind having
People
fun.
thinking that is a
You
remake.
know, I mean, just the idea, like, usually the remakes are not good. I
Who
saw
said that?
somebody.
Giborni's here.
No, let me see. I'll check if our VIP's here.
What about Uncle John?
I don't know if Uncle John's watching, but Uncle John, what's up? Let me see. I just saw this name here. Let's see. See it. If you watch the film, hashtag detention, throw in a request. Yo, Estevez.
Hi.
Hello.
What's
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Where are you calling in
I'm
from?
so nervous right now. Shaking. So I'm from Bosnia, and first I'm going to say that in my country, we're not used to getting detentions or being in detention or anything like that. It's just teachers write in this particular book, and we're going to teachers meeting, and they say if we're getting bad or oh my god, I'm nervous. Sorry.
Okay.
It's fine.
So
Me too. We don't have that too. I'm not from America.
You're from Bosnia. That's amazing. At first I thought you said Boston, and then you said in my country. I was like, she said Bosnia.
yeah. Bosnia and Herzegovina. So yeah, that's small country in Europe. So I'm far away
Shout out
from
to
America.
Bosnia.
Bosnia.
About the Breakfast Club. I saw a movie when I was 6 years old, and my parents didn't make me do not watch the swearing parts or anything like that because I was starting school and they wanted to teach me a lesson, I guess. And later it became one of my favorite movies. And later my father died, and it's like the movie that stayed with me through my childhood and everything. So yeah, so my favorite scene from the movie is actually improvised by the actors. It's actually the scene when they open up to each other, told their things deep down where they hold them in their heart, and it's actually touching to me because I felt connected with some of them. I don't relate to one. I don't relate to one character particularly. There are a few moments where I relate to them. For example, when Andrew says that he did something bad because of the pressure of the world. He didn't want to hurt that boy, but he did because he thought it was right. The father taught him and everything. So yeah, I felt connected to that part because I also did some things because of the pressure of world that I now regret. But
We've all done that.
that's how we
Some of us have done things like that, which is not proud of, and you feel horrible. And it doesn't excuse. I mean, part of it you can look at, especially someone who's been bullied, and you're like, fuck that guy. Like, really, you're gonna do this to somebody? I'm sure Brian was like, that's my friend. Like, you did that to my friend. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
I mean, everyone has the bizarre part.
But it's messed up.
Not
He knows it's messed up too.
But only different is some of them are good at the hiding. So they good at hiding. They good at not act like nothing happened, or act like everything's okay, or nothing.
I'm intrigued though, since I want to pry into what you did, but I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna let go of that.
I mean, after my father died, I was bullied in primary school. I mean, when I was much younger, and I didn't know how to protect myself, so I just learned from them that if I want to protect myself, I'm going to attack them. And then I used it whenever I was scared or something, and that's the thing I learned from my past that actually keeps me now calm now, that I'm not going to do that, because no one deserves to be bullied or something, because we don't know what's happening behind in the closed doors, what's happening at their house. Are they bullied or something? So yeah, just keep it to yourself. keep on going. They're going to have different life. You're not going to know each other in a few years, and just like let it flow. So yeah,
I think we get
I'm
caught
not
up in
going
like
to
the
keep
life
you.
and death of the moment.
I don't want to keep you busy like anymore. I just have two things more to say because it's we keep talking.
I know the camera's a little
I
shaky all the way from Bosnia, but I'm enjoying having a Bosnian on the screen right now.
Thank you.
International audience.
Thank you. Actually, last two lives you greeted me like, "Hey, Essence of Time," and I was like, "Holy, oh my God!" I freaked out every time. So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, you as an actor, as a person, and your voice have been indirectly following my whole life. And I looked up to every character you played, and I searched a lot about you. And I just want to say that you are changing some lives over here, over the world. You may not know it, but you really are, and that's the thing that I appreciate about you, because you interact with people like this. Not much famous people do that. So yeah, you're one of a kind, and I'm so happy that I'm here right now.
Oh my goodness! Thank you, Essence. Go ahead.
And especially 2012, my father died, and it was about time when Legend of Korra first arrived, and I, watched it, and I was thinking about you getting into it, and then General Iroh appeared, and I was like, oh my God, this is like a sign. I don't know. So yeah, it's been a rough time for me. That's rough, buddy, but I'm really honored to be here today. And also, the second thing I wanted to tell you is that some fans I personally know are waiting for another poem because it's been so long and we're already drying up. We want more poems.
Yes, I've been writing. So I have some poems coming soon. Essence, thank you so much for calling in. I'm so flattered and I'm so honored that you came in on our stream. And I love that it's international Bosnia. I think you're the first person I've ever talked to in Bosnia, ever.
Well, perhaps because we're like shy people. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for joining. This is so
That
nice.
was so nice. Wow. Didn't expect that, but I love that. Shout out to Essence in Bosnia. A lot of times when you do work and you don't know how it kind of like translates around the world or impacts around the world, and it's kind of nice to get a little reminder that certain things that we do, people are appreciating on the world and may impact people. And I'm nothing but super flattered. It's pretty amazing.
It means a lot to us as an artist.
Yeah, totally. So thank you. And
Thank you.
who are we going to next?
Are we gonna go to
Let's go. I think we're gonna go.
One more.
Well, let's go to making sure they're in it has more time to get someone else.
Okay,
so,
Macy.
What's her tag?
Macy, are you in the club?
How do I spell it?
M-A. Macy, you have to send the request.
Right there, Macy Grace?
Yes, that's she.
All right.
That's her.
Macy Grace, coming from where?
Coming from London. Hi!
Hi!
I see you too.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you today. Hi, Alice. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you for joining our stream.
Good. It's been so long.
I know. What are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
We're good. It's good to be here with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I know you guys are filmmakers, and we do this thing every Monday Cinema Club. So we're talking about movies. Of course, today is a classic, The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Yes.
So drop some knowledge on us. What do you think? What do you guys think about the film? Collectively, you're an actress, and you are
director,
filmmaker. Yeah. Awesome. So just give a background, so what perspective you guys are coming from. But drop some knowledge.
Yeah, we can do this. I love this movie. I've always loved this movie. It's a great movie. I was obsessed with 80s movies when I was a kid, which obviously was a little bit after I was born, but still, I was obsessed with it. I wanted to be Molly Ringwald. I wanted to be her. She was amazing.
Her style is effective in the movie.
I like it.
Her style.
Yes. She's great. She's great. I love her. I don't think I'm as cool as her though. I'm not in the 80s anyway. But but anyway, but no, we watched it 'cause we wanted to refresh, and definitely the dancing scene is my favorite scene in the movie. Yes, I think that's great because you really see them like relax that finally, and they're friends, and it's great. And yeah,
we were imagining we were imagining directing those scenes because obviously it's like these just the camera standing still and you're shooting them at different places and you're like, just dance, just do something.
Just dance,
we were just wondering like the direction and what you would do as an actor, like okay, what dancing should I do?
As a director, like how are you gonna direct this actor? Like just dance like a crazy chicken.
Or have the guys do like some weird choreography.
I know.
And then Molly Ringwald just dancing like a full-on in the moment 80s teenage girl.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I called that out today too. It was wonderful. I love that bit.
I feel like that dance comes up like super organically.
Oh, I'm sure she was in the club doing that for the next years of her life.
Definitely.
Oh yes, yes, definitely. I mean, it's great, and I mean, everyone's already said it. The bit where they're all talking about why they're in detention, and it's all like improvised, and which is beyond incredible because I can't even imagine sitting and trying to come up with those stories.
Right.
Like
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. I didn't even know it was improvised because it was so well written.
Neither did I.
I'm sure they might have got like some things that you got to get to, but because it was organic, the way that they were talking, made it great. You didn't do any of those scenes growing up in acting class as kids. In high school drama, we did a lot of those monologues and scenes with each other.
Macy went to acting program, right?
Yeah, I did.
Did you do that acting in the acting class? Did you practice any scenes?
No, I never did any scenes from Breakfast Club. Actually, I don't think.
I guess in the 90s, when I was in school, we were like going back to the 80s and doing those scenes.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a bit. I mean, growing up in England, we didn't really do a lot of American movies.
The Brits are doing something else. So.
They're doing their own.
They're conservatory doing other things. We were doing Shakespeare. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yes, pretty much.
But how do you guys feel as filmmakers about the story and the character development and all that? Do you guys have any?
Do you have any idea?
Yeah, definitely. So in preparation for this call, which we were both super stoked about, I kind of urged Maisie to rewatch it, and she told me, Toda, I've seen this film like 100 times. And I'm like, well, I've only seen it once. And I want to be like fresh in the conversations about this film. So we literally watched it 2 hours ago.
Yeah. It's
so
like
it's very fresh.
It's almost midnight here, so we watched that evening movie.
So it's super fresh in your mind.
Yes, very fresh. And I found myself loving it much more the second watch. So people who have judged it by first watch, give it a second try because you'll pick up on things you did on the first time. And that goes for a lot of films.
Yeah.
Direction and script-wise, I'd say it's great. It's a good blend. And obviously, John Hughes did both parts, so it's easy to transition. But I think he does a great job at balancing comedy and drama, which creates a film that a lot of kids can relate to.
Yes.
He has 5 different groups that you can relate to in terms of where you see yourself growing up.
Absolutely.
But all characters have traits that you can find yourself in too, which is really great. So you end up at different times in the film relating to different characters. And whilst you guys mentioned Brian being the most grounded, perhaps, the most close to heart, different times in the movie you find yourself feeling for all 5 characters. Even the more aggressive characters when they explain what causes them to be that way. But it's a great film, and I totally get why it was such a big hit, and it still is today. I mean, I first heard of it a couple years ago only, but it was like such a smash hit, and it still is a cult classic.
It's iconic.
Oh, we lost you guys?
It's okay, we're back. I just had something on the screen. It's definitely iconic. And one of the amazing things, too, as I watched it recently, of course, the teenage characters are so iconic when we think about them. But as I've gotten older now, I mean, I actually looked at the adults and their characters and what they're doing, and it's something that I probably didn't even think about growing up. Like, fuck those guys. Like, I don't know shit about those guys.
Exactly.
But what they're saying now from the janitor and his perspective of the school and what's going on, and then from the teacher's perspective, and even though he's a dick, but there's certain things he's saying as an adult, you're like, yeah, you guys don't be fuck-ups. Like, what is going on with you? I mean,
but he's doing fuck-up shit.
Well, he is also, and you see that, you see the
he's
adults.
not perfect either.
You see the adults as humans also, but they're just I mean, especially the teacher is so iconic. Vern is like the lines and the way he does it, the way he's the don't mess with the bull kind of like it's so iconic, and he's killing it through the whole film too. So he's just as iconic as this kind of like dick adult, but has some valid points at certain moments where you're like, they're kids.
Definitely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Interesting. So I know you guys like recently doing like monologue scenes during this pandemic. Like, what is your favorite monologue of this film, Macy?
This film.
I'm pretty sure. Are you gonna do your monologue scene in next time on Breakfast Club?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find the one from
this movie
to do for the next one.
Are you going to?
I think
Definitely,
when I definitely did the Brian monologue about the elephant and the lamp. Like,
did you?
Yeah, totally.
What is your favorite monologue of this film?
I mean,
the scene, like, or the dialogue.
I know, I'm trying to think because there's so many. I mean, I like when Allison finally starts talking and she's talking to Brian and Andrew, and that's so powerful because she's so used to being ignored. She finally wants attention. It's like, oh, she wants to say something now. That's one of my favorite ones.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was weird, I mean, not weird, like, obviously we get in this very device thing where it's like the pretty prom queen girl kind of makes up the outcasted girl into like this really like sincere face. And it's a beautiful scene, moments in the movie, but the way times have changed and things, it's like you don't necessarily like have to do that to be pretty. Like there's like so many super hot, powerful alt girls that are like whatever, punk rock or hip hop or cosplay. Like they don't have to like conform to like the prom girl look in order to be accepted by the jock. Even the jock could be like, I mean, they may make her up, maybe short face and maybe I don't know, add some whatever.
No.
I mean, there's definitely
get some contour going on.
Contouring, we got that earlier.
But it was just weird to watch that. And I thought maybe like, because like a lot of times we watch these old films and like a lot of the younger generation come in and like will totally bash out some of the old tropes, and you're like, man, I'm like, okay, that's
I think when you watch these sort of movies, you got to know that they're not necessarily going to stand the test of time, and they're going to say things where you're like, probably can't say that nowadays, or like do things where you're like, possibly not. But so I think when you watch them, you're going to know that going in. So you have to be aware of it. Yeah,
it's still charming.
But it's still charming.
It's such a charming film, and it's
go ahead.
No, I'm just when you watch classic films, and this whole Money Cinema Club is about watching cinema classics. You do have to watch them in the realm of to a degree in that time period. Even though it may transcend that time period, it may tell us things now or whatnot. You really kind of got to give it credence in the time in which it was made.
Yes,
exactly. Otherwise, you're never going to enjoy anything. Otherwise, so
Yeah, or else it's just like it's all shit. It can't be all shit. Like
exactly.
You guys, it's such a pleasure talking to you guys.
It's our pleasure.
I hope you guys get to America, or we get to Europe, and then we all can hang out.
We've been trying to get. We were supposed to go back, and then the whole world shut.
Patiently waiting.
Yeah. Really?
So thank you guys again for joining.
Thank you for joining Macy and Toto.
Thank you so much for having us.
Alice, I love you guys. Miss you, Macy.
Bye. Bye. Miss you too, Alice.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Toto.
Well, we should probably wrap it up because my phone's about to die. And
of course, you're gonna charge.
Hold on a second. There's a lot going on today. It's Monday.
Yeah, a lot of TikTok going on.
There's so much going on. I love talking about The Breakfast Club. I love this movie. You that didn't love it as much, watch it again. Enjoy it. There's still something to like, even if it's not your favorite film of all time. A really, really fun watch. What movie are we watching next week?
Ooh, that's a good question.
We're going, you guys, next week.
Vote.
Next week we're going Latinx.
Vote, baby.
And so that means we're reading subtitles. I'm sorry, we're reading subtitles. It's going to be in Spanish.
Why is this subtitle? Is it
for a lot of us, at least for me, at least for whatever Americans, sometimes we get hung up on subtitles. I think it's happening a little bit less, but there's also a lot of Spanish-speaking people out there.
I'm pretty sure a lot of Spanish-speaking people.
They're going to be
Spanish film.
And they don't have to read the subtitles.
Film. Exactly. You know, our audience from the rest of the world, they're watching. They might be using subtitles too.
You're right. But what I'm talking about right now, for the predominant people that are English speaking, people that come over speaking English,
you're right.
we're going to be watching a Latinx film, and Diego Luna's films are in there. It's Y Tu Mama Tambien, or The Motorcycle Diaries. And which one?
So,
the winner is
Y Tu Mama Tambien.
Y Tu Mama Tambien. Can't wait.
I never watched this film.
Brush up on that. I watched it
fresh out of the boat.
It's kind of another one's a little racy. My memory, there's some racy parts, but it's a coming of age story. I can't wait to watch it. You guys.
Oh my god, it's great. It's so much fun, and then this is like a weekly thing. I'm looking forward to do it.
Well, you're dressing up for it every week.
I know.
Looking cute.
I'm dressing up every week for this show. Like, I got a lot of compliments.
But I really, really appreciate everybody who joins us every week.
I know.
I really appreciate the people that watch with us. Pia Santos, it's PJ A Santos. It's gonna be Y Tu Mama Tambien next week.
Y Tu Mama Tambien.
Y Tu Mama Tambien. And I really love that everyone watches it with us and discusses this film and gives us new ways to look at the film and talk about it. I really dig it. So next week's gonna be great. Have a great week, you guys. You can watch the Avatar Party on Friday on my Twitch channel, Honor Society. Commercial time. And also, me and Justin play League of Legends on Wednesday. Shout out to Calvatrine. I saw Calvatrine in the chat.
I'm gonna play Just Dance.
Saturday.
On Tuesday.
Bridget plays spooky games. Sunday, fun day. Justin plays Among Us and things. You want to go? You can dance. You can dance on mine. You can dance on
No, Just
Twitch
Dance, the game.
I know Just Dance. Play Just Dance on my Twitch channel.
Oh, really?
I gotta go. My phone's about to die. Cheers, you guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Adios. Bye.